It feels weird to be like, yes, I recommend this most traumatic book ever, but like at the same time, I'm like, it was so good and I loved it, so like other people should read it. Hello Bessies, Kira, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a wrap up. I feel like it's been so long since I've done a wrap up, but it's low-key just been like a month because I did not do a February one. I'm sorry about the lighting, like the sun's coming in and I can't really like sit directly in front of it or I will be a literal glow stick. I read 4 books in the month of March and I softy enough to one. I'll just talk about it quickly. Some of these were in videos, not all of them. Definitely go check out the videos for like full in-depth thoughts of like what I kind of remember from all of them. With all that being said, make sure to follow my socials down below, my goodreads, my Amazon wishlist, stuff like that is down there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, baby. And let's just get right into it. These first 3 technically are in videos from the month. First one, which was a 5-star. Do I low-key remember anything about it? No. But it's been a long month. That book is The Wrong Heart by Jennifer Hartman. Gave it 5 stars. I am just like obsessed with Jennifer Hartman's books. There is just something about them that is just so good, so traumatizing, gut-wrenching, amazing, and I eat them up every time. I do not believe this is part of like the interconnected series with Lotus and Still Beating and The Stars Are on Our Side or something like that. This one is basically about this woman named Melody, and she lost her husband in a very tragic way and is still very much coping with that. And she goes to like this little, like, I don't want to trigger anybody because there are trigger warnings, but like a suicide group. It's like AA, like there's other people who have gone through similar things or in the same kind of boat, and she goes to this group and that's where she meets our mailman character. His name is Parker and he basically is also in this group. He doesn't want to be there, but his sister really wants him to. He had a traumatic like accident or whatever that left him in the hospital and he basically just didn't want to live. That's where they meet. Things happen from there, and I don't know, there was just something about this book, about this writing, about the way that she takes these such traumatic events. You just go through these 2 characters figuring all their like stuff out and being able to love again and just like have a person they feel safe with. I just remember reading super fast. I liked the characters, I liked their interaction, forced proximity. She eventually needs like her bathroom like worked on or something, and he happens to be a contractor, so there's that. They just like slowly but surely like fall in love and kind of like get better for themselves and figure a lot of their stuff out. It's just like a beautiful story just to like read about. I forgot to mention, basically the whole premise is her husband's heart got given to somebody else who needed it, and when she like reaches out to that person, it happens to be our mailman character. So they also have that kind of like secret identity going on as well in the story. That plot twist was crazy, did not see it coming. I feel like I'm not giving you guys too much, but it's like one of those like captivating, like in the moment 5 stars where like after you sit and you're like, damn, that was like so good, so twisty, so emotional, and I just really liked it. Again, I love Jennifer Hartman's books. I feel like they're so good and like emotional and traumatic in the best way. 2 out of the 4 books I read by her, I gave 5 stars and the other I gave 4.5. So it feels weird to be like, yes, I recommend this most traumatic book ever, but like at the same time, I'm like, it was so good and I loved it, so like other people should read it. I do recommend her books. Just check out the trigger warnings because there are so many. 5 stars. Love this one. All right, and then the next 2 I read in a different reading vlog, and this was reading books kind of like out of my comfort zone is what I called it. So I have 2 books. One of them was a softie, and we'll talk about them in order. But the book that I did finish for that video was Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall, and I ended up giving this book, I think, 3 stars, right? The way I do not remember. Gave this book 3 out of 5 stars, and basically the premise of this one is there is this woman and her name is Beth, and she is living in this like kind of like farm kind of area with her husband Frank, and someone like shoots somebody's dog, and come to find out that the dog is Gabriel's dog. Him and Beth had a past, so they were kind of like romantically involved when they were teenagers, and then something happened, and then now he's kind of like like back in this town and they really haven't like spoke to each other in like all these years. And it's kind of like their reconnecting story, a little bit of a mystery. I don't think this one was necessarily bad. So this is like fiction with like, I guess, some mystery. I'm not really sure if that's what you would even consider it because I didn't think that, but I went into this one thinking it was going to be more mystery thriller than it was. It says like twists and turns of a thriller. So when I like started reading this and I didn't get much mystery or thriller aspects, I made it like halfway into the book not being that interested. I think the way that this was advertised to me was incorrect, and that made me not like the book, because when I hear mystery thriller, I'm gonna expect twist and turns of mystery thriller. It was like more towards the end, but I just thought it was going to be more within the first half of the story. I understand the first half has to be context building. You have to learn about these two characters and their past and how they split apart and all that. Weave that in with like the present. Now the timeline of like him moving back and how their relationship like rekindled. I could have felt like we could have shoved in like a little bit more mystery aspects. To me, I just feel like it should have been more of that like mixed in the book and not just like straight up lots of content and then all of a sudden this trial and this mystery is thrown at you without you really even like connecting anything. That's how I felt. Maybe that's not what it's supposed to be. Then I was like, what am I even reading? Like I didn't really care or connect to the story. But I will say, why did we do our man Frank so dirty? Frank is her husband, if you do not know, and poor Frank. That's all I really have to say. The soft DNF that we had for that video was actually Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. So I started this book, but I ended up DNFing it at page 55. I still have my bookmark in it, but this is like a sci-fi book. So I mostly read like fantasy, like romantasy. I've never read like a specifically sci-fi based book. So I really wanted to give this a try, and I did not hate it at all. I just feel like I wasn't in the mood for it at the time. I feel like I had to read it for the video and I wasn't in the mood for it. So I do want to pick this one up again at some point, but I just want to let you guys know that I did start this, but I did soft DNF a book. Whenever I get back to it, I'm hoping it's soon. Silver Elite by Danny Francis. If you were not on like Book Talk or Bookstagram at all, I want to say like June or July, some point around there of last year, and you did not hear about this book, I don't know where you were, because everybody and their mother was talking about it. They were like, it's one of the best books, 5 stars, favorite book of the year. I was like, okay, I'm gonna need it, and then I'm gonna have to read it and see for myself. Finally picked it up and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars, which is not bad. I don't know, I thought this was gonna be 5 stars. I predicted 5 stars. I did not get 5 stars. Basically, this is about a girl named Ren, and she is like a psychic. In this world, it is not the best to be a psychic. Like, there's like two kind of people. It's a dystopian world, so it's an adult dystopian. Really cool. I feel like there's not at all any adult dystopians, which is crazy. They're basically people like her are called like modified. So they have these special abilities that you're not supposed to have anymore. And basically, there's like this whole thing that they're killing all the people who are modified because they're like too powerful, I guess. And she's been like hiding her whole entire life. So basically something happens to her uncle. She gets thrown into the like Silver Elite training. Oh, Silver Block is what it's called. It's basically to get into like the army to fight against like the modified and all the things in this world. And that's where she meets Cross Redden, and he is one of the sons of the king. He was trying to kill all the modified. She's modified, enemies to lovers. The book was not bad at all. I feel like when I did pick it up, I did read it fairly quickly. I feel like I read like pretty much more than half the book in 2 days. Like I had no problem reading it. Very easy to read. It just like, to me, at many points was just not very interesting. I feel like with something like Powerless, for example, by Lauren Roberts, where the first book had these like trials and these competitions and stuff that she had to survive, I thought it was going to be more like that. More like upscale, like heart-pounding moments of her going through this like training to be in the army, and there were points of that, but I feel like they're very short and like far in between. A lot of it was just content that was probably necessary to the book, but I just feel like I was bored. The romance, I want to say, was very instant, like very not too far in. She like meets him as a character, is already like, yep, he's so attractive, blah blah blah, and then obviously throughout her training they start to have like a little secret romance or whatever, and by the end of the book they were already saying the L word, and I was like, guys, can we slow down? I mean, I know why they did because I can't spoil it, but still, like, it's a little too quick. different like abilities and the whole dystopian world is very interesting. I found that really cool. Just like learning about the different like wards, like different parts of the area, and learning about all the abilities and like what they can do and all that stuff is really, really cool. Other than that, it was kind of like a slow paced book, which like makes sense. It's a first book in a series. You're supposed to like build up the world and all the characters, lots of betrayal, lots of fighting, dying, like stuff like that. I don't know if it was because I didn't get to like sit down and read it, and I think it's low-key because I was in like the littlest bit of a slump, so I feel like maybe this book didn't get what it deserved. I'm still gonna continue with the series because I'm very interested to see how the one ended and how everything works out between the characters, Ren in general, with all the stuff that was real. We'll see what happens in the second one. I know it's coming out, I believe April, May, something around that time, kind of soon. 3.5 to 5 stars for this one. Alrighty, besties. And then the last and final book that we read in the month of March, I somehow squeezed in. Literally finished this yesterday and started it, I think like the day before or maybe the day before that. I had to squeeze in one more book. It was Downpour by Maggie Gates. This is the second book in the Griffith Brothers series. It's like a small town cowboy romance series, and I was like, I need a quick short book. This was exactly what I needed. I gave this book 3 to 5 stars, and basically this is about Ray and Brooke. So Ray is one of the Griffith brothers, and he was a bull rider, but he had like a really bad accident that left him basically like paralyzed, left him in a wheelchair, couldn't do a lot for himself, and that's where Brooke comes in, and she's basically like his at-home caretaker. That's where they meet. She basically has to like end up moving into his house and kind of helping him kind of that way, and their dynamic was just so funny because she's like this witty, bubbly woman who's like young, she's like college age-ish. He's like 12 years older than her, I think, and because of this accident, he became like very like grumpy, closed off, really was like the complete opposite of her. So reading their dynamic was very interesting. Yeah, so I read this book, like I said, in 2 days. Very, very quick writing, very easy to read. Yeah, there was nothing like necessarily bad about it, nothing like amazing. I thought, again, their dynamic was good. I like to see Ray's progression throughout the book, just him getting better and more like confident with being able to like walk kind of again and get his mobility back. He had a lot of things going on. I think Brooke's like personality and the way that she was brought out a really better side of him and just a different side of him overall. I like the found family in the series, very like ranch, very everybody lives there, like homey. I feel like nothing like happened in this book, but a lot happened in this book, if that makes sense. There was a little bit of like a mystery, if you could say. I liked it. I like the series. If they're quick and they're fun, that's exactly what I needed. I would recommend the series. It's 3 out of 5 stars. Alrighty, besties, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like, again, it's been a long time since I did a wrap up. Even though I only read 4 books, I still kind of wanted to do a wrap up because I had a 5-star in there, and I read a very popular book talk book, Silver Elite, so I feel like I wanted to tell you guys word for word my thoughts and my feelings. Make sure to follow my socials down below, and my goodreads, my Amazon wishes, stuff like that is in there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, and rate me. And I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye!